This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. News edited by Danishka Madavala and read by Niranjan Abesundara. More rain expected in the western, Sabaragamuwa and southern provinces and in the southwestern part of the island. Met Department issues an advisory for strong winds and rough seas. 4 districts were yesterday placed under Division 1 warning for landslides, and residents were called upon to remain alert with the onset of the monsoon rains. Irrigation departments say water levels of the reservoirs under the department have not increased. President appreciates Japan's role in restructuring Sri Lanka's external debt. The government has implemented a special loan scheme to purchase paddy to the small and medium-scale paddy mill owners. In world news, Russia puts advanced Sarmat nuclear missile system on combat duty. In sports news, the fourth match of the Group B of the Asia Cup will be played between Afghanistan and Bangladesh today. Met Department said that more rain was expected in the western, Sabaragamuwa and southern provinces and the southwestern part of the island. Deputy meteorologist of the Met Department, Manit Fernandez, said reason behind this adverse weather is the cyclonic situation in the Pacific Sea area. Speaking of the national radio, he said that rainy weather conditions will be reduced within the next 3 days. He said there will be very few showers after the 6th of this month. Meanwhile, Met Department issued advisory for strong winds and rough seas. Due to the active southwest monsoon condition, wind speed may increase up to 60 to 70 kilometers at times. The sea areas of the coast extending from Hambantota to Potawil, and the sea areas of the coast extending from Puttalam to Trincomalee via Manna and Kankasanture. Wind speed may increase at 50 to 60 kilometers per hour in the sea areas of the coast extending from Puttalam to Hambantota via Colombo and Galle. The naval and fishing communities who are engaged in fishing and naval activities in the above areas are requested to be vigilant in this regard. 4 districts were yesterday placed under the Division 1 warning for landslides, and residents were called upon to remain alert with the onset of the monsoon rains. Areas are Baddegama, Alpiti and Nagada in the Galle district, Burat Sinhala, Ingiriya, Matugama and Walalapita in the Kadra district, Ruanwella, Yatiantata, Daranyagala, Burat Kopita and Dehiovita in the Kagada district, and Ehlegoda and Kuruvita in the Ratapura district. Water Management Director of the Irrigation Department, Sudarshini Vidanapatrana, said water levels of the reservoirs under this department have not increased. Most of the tanks are located in the dry zone and there were no rain reported in these areas. She said the water level of the irrigation area and other reservoirs of the department have been reduced to 26% of the total capacity. Mahabali Authority also said the sufficient rain have not received for Mahabali catchment areas. As the Director General of the Sri Lanka Mahabali Authority, Nilanta Dhanapala, told the national radio that only Kotmale Reservoir and catchment areas have received a few showers. The government has implemented a special loan scheme to purchase paddy to small and medium-scale paddy mill owners. Registered mill owners with daily milling capacity under 25 metric tons can obtain loans through the scheme. Interest rate of this scheme is 16% and the government will bear 4% of it. Maximum loan amount is 50 million rupees. Entire amount should be paid back within 180 days. Mill owners can obtain the loans until the 30th of November. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. President Wickremesinghe has appreciated Japan's leadership in international efforts to restructure Sri Lanka's external debt. In an interview with NHK, President Wickremesinghe said everyone is comfortable with Japan serving as co-chair of a new international framework launched in April aimed at resolving Sri Lanka's debt crisis. Sri Lanka fell into default in April last year after fiscal policy decisions triggered a rapid depreciation of its currency and high inflation. Wickremesinghe assumed power in July last year amid political upheaval. Japan regards Sri Lanka as an important partner in its effort to realize a free and open Indo-Pacific. China also considers Sri Lanka as a partner in the Belt and Road Initiative. It has been giving loans to South Asian countries. Newly appointed United Nations Resident Representative Marc-Andre Franch expressed appreciation over Sri Lanka's economic recovery from an unprecedented crisis last 2 years and assured continuous support for the development process. He said this when he called on the Prime Minister to Guruvardhana temple trees of September 1st. He said that Sri Lanka is heading back in the right direction, but cautioned that the next couple of years will be very difficult, not only for Sri Lanka but most of the country due to global economic downturn. Have been taken to increase food production and ensure food security. We also plan to diversify exports as it's a long run. We have to, not only to be self-sufficient in food, but also increase foreign exchange earnings through exports, he said. That was local news.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Transport, Highways and Mass Media Minister Dr. Bandar Guruvardhan instructed state officials, including District Secretary, to immediately evict unauthorized people occupying railway land between the Polonnaru and Batticaloa district. The minister gave these instructions at the Batticaloa District Development Coordinating Committee meeting at the Batticaloa District Secretariat under the patronage of Trade Minister Suvanesature Chandrakanthan on Thursday. The minister said that no person can occupy railway lands or erect buildings under the traffic regulations of the Railway Ordinance Act. The minister said the land belonging to the railway can only be given out on temporary lease based on a 5-year agreement under the powers of the Railway General Manager. The minister said the Railway Department has full power to demolish any unauthorized building on railway lands. That was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
On to Watchlight, the health sector has warned about the increasing of mosquito breeding with the commencement of rains. Therefore, they request public to keep their premises clean. Schools, state and private institutions should pay their attention in this regard. That came to you in Watchlight.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of
Say no more to moving and paying rent. Get a home loan from Commercial Bank at the lowest interest rate and get a home of your own.
Which Bhatta are you in now?
In Javatta, in my own house.
Russia puts advanced Sarmat nuclear missile system on combat duty. Dozens of people injured in clashes between rival Eritrean groups in Israel. The Nisha coup supporters call for French ambassador and troops to leave the country. Moscow has put into service an advanced intercontinental ballistic missile Russian President Vladimir Putin has said would make Russia's enemies think twice about their threats, according to reported comments by the head of the country's space agency. Yuri Borisov said, head of the Russian space agency, said that Sarmat missiles have assumed combat duty. Based on experts' estimates, RS-20 Sarmat is capable of delivering a warhead weighing up to 10 tons to any location worldwide, both over the North and South Poles. White House National Security Council spokesman Joe Kirby said on Friday he was not in a position to confirm reports that Russia had put the Sarmat on combat readiness. Putin said in February that Sarmat of several advanced weapons in Russia's arsenal will be ready for deployment soon. More than 100 people have been injured in clashes between rival groups of protesters from Eritrea in the Israeli city of Tel Aviv, with the police firing warning shots in the air to disperse the demonstrators. Fighting broke out on Saturday after hundreds of Eritreans critical of the government approached a venue where a pro-government event was being held. Protesters broke through police barriers and smashed windows of police and other cars, as well as windows of nearby stores. They were also able to enter the venue near the Eritrean embassy and smash up chairs and tables. Megan David Adam, Israel's emergency medical service, said it treated 114 people, 8 of whom were in a serious condition. Thousands of people have rallied in the Nigerian capital Niamey, demanding that France withdraw its ambassador and troops from the West African country as new military rulers have accused the former colonial power of interference. Protesters gathered near the military base housing French soldiers yesterday after a call by several civic organizations hostile to the French military presence. They held up banners proclaiming French army leave our country. Niger's military government seized power on July 26, has accused French President Emmanuel Macron of using divisive rhetoric in his comments about the coup and seeking to impose a neo-colonial relationship with its former colony. Macron has backed deposed President Mohamed Bazoum and refused to recognize Niger's new rulers. And that was World News.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
This message is for all the kids between the ages of 4 and 16 who love to draw. Commercial Bank's Arunalu Sittam is back once again. This time, the competition is also open to Sri Lankan kids currently living abroad. First, second and third place prizes will be awarded along with special merit and merit certificates. For more information, visit the Commercial Bank website. We have so many prizes to be won.
Development News is brought to you by
Job opportunities for well-experienced housemaids and home cooks in Saudi Arabia and Kuwait for ages 40 to 58 years. Salary 125,000 rupees. Contact 037 7500 500.
The Hayward Zoo has reported a remarkable surge in visitors, with footfalls doubling in recent times, according to officials of the National Zoological Garden in Dehibala. The scorching heat wave has driven people to seek refuge among the trees and lush greenery within the zoo premises. Also an unexpected star attraction is the capturing the hearts of visitors, Simba the lion cub. That was Development News.
Job opportunities for women from Deshakti Lanka in Saudi Arabia, Kuwait and Oman. Housemaids and home cooks in Saudi Arabia, ages 40 to 58 years. Arabic speaking and well experienced home cooks. Salary 125,000 rupees. Interviews are now on with foreign agents. You can travel overseas free of charge now. Branches Colombo, Kurunegala, Anuradhapura and Matara. Contact number 0377 500 500. Deshakti Lanka Foreign Employment Agency.
On to sports news. The fourth match of the Group B of the Asia Cup will play today between Afghanistan and Bangladesh in Lahore, Pakistan. Match will be played as a day and night encounter. Scheduled kick-off at 3:15 p.m. Sri Lanka time. Action now moves to Lahore, relatively unknown terrain for both sides. For Afghanistan, it will be their first ever international game in Pakistan. Afghanistan come into this contest on the back of a 0-3 loss to Pakistan. A lot will depend on how their top order goes. Get through them and Bangladesh will feel they have the upper hand. To add to their woes, Rahmat has been out of form and was even dropped for the second and third ODIs against Pakistan. Meanwhile, India and Pakistan match of the Asia Cup was abandoned when Ray prevented play after the innings break yesterday. India was bowled out for 66 inside 50 overs after electing to bat first. Pakistan couldn't start its innings due to rain. Points were shared and Pakistan advanced to the second round, having already beaten Nepal. India needs to beat Nepal in its final group game to go through.
Go ekathiyana youth kat life ke change kat niyamata setna as wahagena dak puhina habe karana youth kat niyamata setna friendship ekamenna.
The all-new NSB Ithru account, NSB IAM, a plan for your dream.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
The cumulative number of tourist arrivals during January-July 2023 amounted to 36,913 compared to 158,670 arrivals recorded during the comparable period of 2022. Earnings from tourism July 23 were estimated $219 million in comparison to $123 million in the previous month and $85 million in the corresponding month of the previous year. Consequently, earnings from tourism during January-July 2023 amounted to $1,094 million compared to $765 million in the corresponding period of 2022. India, Russia, United Kingdom, Germany and France were the main source countries for tourist arrivals during the period. Sri Lanka Tourism announced that they hope to achieve a revenue of over $2.55 billion in 2023.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Go ekathiyana youth kat life ke change kat niyamata setna as wahagena dak puhina habe karana youth kat niyamata setna friendship ekamenna.
The all-new NSB Ithru account, NSB IAM, a plan for your dream.
On to economic news, according to the Central Bank of Sri Lanka, worker remittances increased notably to $541 million in July this year, compared to $279 million in July last year. Based on provisional data, total departures of foreign employment from January to July 23 and departures in July 23 amount to 171,015 and 24,578. Total annual departures of foreign employment in 2022 were 311,056. One of the other key revenue generators to Sri Lanka, the number of tourist arrivals increased to 143,039 in July 2023, compared to 100,088 recorded in June 2023. That was economic news.
Weather report.
Shower thunderstorms will occur at times in the western, Sabaragamuwa, southern, central and northwestern provinces. Heavy showers of 100 millimeters are likely at some places in the western, Sabaragamuwa and southern provinces. Shower thunderstorms will occur at several places in the eastern and lower provinces during the evening or night. Very strong winds up to 45 kilometers per hour can be expected at times in the western slope, the central hills, western, northwestern and central provinces. On the far southward, relative motion of the sun is going to be directly over the latitude of Sri Lanka during the 20th of August to the 7th of September this year. Nearest towns of Sri Lanka over which the sun is over today are Bangadeniya, Variapala, Madabala in Mathale district, Kutalakchorle and about 12:10 noon. And we get back to the headlines of the news. More rain expected in the western, Sabaragamuwa and southern provinces and the southwestern part of the island. Met Department issues an advisory for strong winds and rough seas. 4 districts were yesterday placed under Division 1 warning for landslides, and residents were called upon to remain alert with the onset of the monsoon rain. The Irrigation Department said water levels at reservoirs under the department have not increased. The President appreciates Japan's role in restructuring Sri Lanka's external debt. Government has implemented a special loan scheme to purchase paddy to the small and medium paddy mill owners. In world news, Russia puts advanced Harmat nuclear missile system on combat duty. In sports news, the fourth match of Group B of the Asia Cup will be played between Afghanistan and Bangladesh today. With that, we end the afternoon news.